right, we're going to talk about symmetry today. And remember, symmetry is where you take something and you cut it in half and both sides look exactly the same. So we're going to look at some pictures and we're going to decide if these items have symmetry. So let's look at the bear. And remember, there are two types of symmetry. Well, there's three, but we want to know the vertical, the horizontal, and most of you know the diagonal. Remember, vertical goes up and down and horizontal goes left to right. So let's look and see if this bear has any lines of symmetry. So is there anywhere I could cut him and both sides would look exactly the same? Yeah, he kind of has a line of symmetry already drawn for us right there. And if you look, you can see his eyes look the same and his nose looks the same. So he has a vertical line of symmetry. He does not have a horizontal line, however, because if I were to cut him horizontally, his head looks totally different than his feet. Or if I were to cut him diagonally, once again, he looks totally different. So the bear has at least one line of symmetry. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is a leaf I found in my front yard. Do you see any lines of symmetry? If you do, is it vertical or horizontal? This one tricked me. I thought, okay, this has a vertical line of symmetry, but you got to be very careful because if you look closely, the coloring is different. I need more green up in this area in order for them to be symmetrical, for it to look the same. So it does not have a vertical line of symmetry. It definitely does not have a horizontal. If I were to fold this over, it would need to be round down here for them to match if I were to fold them on this line. So this leaf was kind of tricky, but it has no lines of symmetry. We also see combined shapes. So on this picture, both things together have to create a line of symmetry. So you may say, Ms. Huey, it has a vertical line of symmetry. If I folded this part of the H on top of this part of the H, everything would line up perfectly. If I folded the O on top of the O, everything would line up perfectly. But that's not how you think about it when you have a couple of images together. You have to think, if I did right here, if I folded on this line, would the H and the O lay on top of each other and look exactly the same? Obviously not. It's two different letters, okay? That doesn't make sense. But what if I came and chopped the picture horizontally? Now, if I folded on this line, would everything lay on top of each other? Would this match up with this? Would this match up with this? And it definitely would. So this does have a horizontal line of symmetry. So sometimes the pictures will be grouped together and you have to ask, if I fold the whole picture, is everything going to line up? Okay, let's see, we have this guy right here. Now I'm going to ask it a little differently. Does this have at least one line of symmetry? This wording trips y'all up sometimes. At least one line of symmetry. And the answer is yes. When I say at least, remember that means one or more. And this does have at least one or more. Now, is it horizontal or is it vertical? Yeah, it's not horizontal. If I were to cut this horizontally and fold that picture, this M would not line up. It would have to look like this on the bottom, and it does not look that way. Okay, what about if I cut it vertically? Oops. That does line up, because when I lay this over, it's going to lay right on top of that. Now let's talk about this shape in the middle, and it's a little bit stretched out for my camera, but this should be a circle. How many lines of symmetry does a circle have? It is infinite. Any way I cut this little guy, it should be the same. So remember, a circle has infinite lines of symmetry. Okay, let me scooch back over here and let's go to the mailboxes outside my house. Does this have a line of symmetry? If so, is it vertical or horizontal? Okay, some of you saying, okay, it's got a horizontal line of symmetry. Okay, that's true, except this right here. I would have to have that same thing right here for it to be able to fold on top of each other. Also, I'm noticing this looks like a trapezoid. And a trapezoid does not have a horizontal line of symmetry in this case because these would not match up if I folded it on top of these. So this does not have a horizontal. Okay, what about a vertical? Yeah, it doesn't have vertical either because once again, we have this. Now, if I folded this, this is gonna lay on top of this. But these right here, there's none for them to match up with. So it does not have a vertical line of symmetry either. Now let's go back to just looking at that hexagon. What if not a hexagon, a pentagon. Oh my goodness, not a pentagon, a trapezoid. Let's look at this trapezoid. If I took this trapezoid and I cut it vertically, now we're just gonna act like none of this is here. We're just gonna act like this is shaded in. Would it line up correctly? So if I had this shape, oops, forgive my drawing, let's draw it over here, and I cut it this way, would both fold on top of each other? Yeah, it would. So that would have a vertical line of symmetry. But this mailbox has zero, zilch, nada, nothing. All right, so let's look at this guy, this little slothy. Does this sloth have a line of symmetry? Right here, his face does, but you gotta take into account the whole shape. And some people like to do this. Yes, there's a line. No, that's not a line, that's a curve. So you gotta make sure that it has a line of symmetry, meaning can I go diagonal? Nope. Can I go horizontal? Nope. Can I go vertical? Nope. So this sloth has zero lines of symmetry. Bye, slothy. Okay, what about this mirror? Does this mirror have any lines of symmetry? Okay, some of you may be thinking, yeah, horizontally. Bam. No. Now this stuff may look the same, but look at the top. This is rounded and this has right angles. So if I were to lay the round on top of the right angles, it would not line up correctly. So this does not have a horizontal line of symmetry. What about vertical? Do you see a vertical line of symmetry? Yeah, I think if I folded these on top of each other, they would lay on top of each other perfectly, and that would give me a good vertical line of symmetry. All right, I think this is our last picture. Is this symmetrical? Can I cut it in half and both sides look the same? Okay, diagonally? Definitely not. Horizontally? Nope, this is big and this is small. What about vertically? A little wonky at the top, but you get the idea. Yeah, I could fold that in half. The butterfly would lay on top of each other and this overall shape looks the same. So I think that would be great. Okay, so key reminders for symmetry. There are vertical lines. There are horizontal lines. There are diagonal lines of symmetry. Okay, remember, something can have more than one line of symmetry. For example, a circle. It has infinite lines of symmetry. Any way I cut it, it's gonna look the same. So remember, symmetrical means you cut it right down the middle, both sides look the same. Make sure you look for the attributes on the shape and that it's represented on both sides. One other thing I wanted to talk about was a rectangle and a square. How many lines of symmetry does a rectangle have? Well, we know 1, we know 2, and then a lot of times y'all say, Miss Huey, there's the third one. Miss Huey, here's the fourth one. No, remember, if I were to fold these over, this corner is going to go up here and this corner is going to go down here, and they are not going to be symmetrical. However, on a square, because I have all congruent sides and all congruent angles, it's going to give me 4 lines of symmetry. I can cut it left, right, up and down, and diagonally. Horizontal, vertically, and diagonally. So it has 4 lines of symmetry because it has 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. So if I were to draw a pentagon that had 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles, or let's do a hexagon. That'd be a little easier for me. Let's pretend that all 6 of these were equal and all 6 angles were equal. Then this would have 6 lines of symmetry. So remember, if it has all equal sides, all equal angles, then it's going to have that many lines of symmetry. Good luck. Keep an eye out for symmetry everywhere you go.